and Harris's follower count lately? The numbers reveal some fascinating trends. Stay tuned as today we're going to analyze Trump and Harris's Instagram follower count over the past few months. And just so you know, these numbers are telling an interesting story. We're also going to rank the top 4 male heartthrobs from Love is Blind season 7 by Instagram followers. You will not believe who number 1 is. And we're also going to see which 3 women from Love is Blind season 7 is dominating Instagram. And our question to you is, who do you think the most popular gal is? And then finally, we want to honor and remember Liam Payne's incredible music gifts and impact and tribute to a career cut short. Welcome to Trend Trackers, where we focus on data-driven insights into social media trends and the impact of recent events. I'm Brittany.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm your side piece, Erin.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us today.
Thank you. All right, we're going to jump right in to looking at some fun numbers here with Trump and Kamala. So as we all know, the elections are coming up. So we wanted to look and see what their follower counts were the last several months. So it's going from March 2024. Obviously, Kamala was vice president at the time. Biden was still running. And then up until the last few days, now Kamala is running for president. So we can see Kamala's total as well as Donald Trump's total since March. So what's interesting is Kamala actually loses followers April, May, and June. And I find this fascinating. She loses a significant amount every month. But as soon as Biden drops out and he endorses Kamala, she skyrockets her Instagram. With all that said, if we're comparing her to Trump, Trump still has the lead in followers from the beginning. And if we go to this graph here, we're seeing that data. So we can still see that Kamala is rising. She's actually rising faster than Trump, but Trump has that steady lead when it comes to Instagram followers.
What I think is fascinating is, and this is pure speculation, and for our followers, the people listening, what happened until Kamala started running for president that made her lose followers? I think this is something that we here at Trend Trackers want to look a little bit more into, but we wanted to approach this and give the community here an opportunity to weigh in on what do you think was happening. And then clearly there was a clear indication, there was a clear line that when Biden dropped out and endorsed Kamala, she just started increasing in follower growth. And so we're curious what you all think happened before that pivotal moment. Let's move on to Love is Blind, our heartthrobs.
Our heartthrobs. Erin, have you seen the most recent season yet?
Yes, I've watched some of it.
Okay.
Needless to say, I will let you all know I don't believe there are any heartthrobs on this season.
Okay.
Period.
And that's fair. Instagram begs to differ, but
well,
that's fair.
Sure. Yeah.
Now the recording.
Love is truly blind, right?
Well, is it? We don't know.
Maybe it's lust. We'll see.
So as of this recording, the marriages have taken place, but the reunion has not.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't do any major spoilers, but we'll see kind of what the data says. So first off, number 1 by far, we've got our heartthrob Garrett. So he has over 63,000 followers, higher than any of the other male participants. Next up, we have Nick with a little over 42,000, followed by Leo with 33.6 thousand. Now, I have to do a honorable mention for Ramses, who's slightly under Leo. I actually didn't check today. I have a feeling Ramses might have jumped up. I'm not sure. But both Ramses and Leo were really neck and neck. They're very, very close. So I had to include both of them.
What's interesting too is, like Ashley mentioned, the reunion special, as of the date of this recording, has not aired. And so we want to invite all of you to keep watching, because in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a trend tracking to see who has grown the most from this moment, from this data through after the reunion, because there tends to be a slight lag with what's the word, Ashley? It's not like live streaming on demand. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
On demand seasons. As people catch up to the seasons, they binge watch. So there's a slight delay as opposed to live episodes from week to week. And so once the reunion episode airs, we can track it for a couple of weeks after that. That's when we're going to really see the most accurate numbers. So this is kind of a starting point. Through the majority of the season, then we'll do a recap at the reunion to see kind of what we've seen overall.
Who do you think? Who's your heartthrob, Ashley?
I mean, of the season?
Yes.
I mean, I definitely think Garrett's up there.
As a couple, they're my heartthrob.
Well, and great transition because now we have Taylor, who has the most followers when it comes to the women. But who's your heartthrob this season?
Who's my heartthrob?
Yeah.
Taylor. Well, Taylor and Garrett as a couple.
Oh, the couple.
Yes,
okay.
as a couple.
Yeah.
Not singling anyone out.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Brittany, do you have a favorite couple?
My favorite heartthrob is Taylor, but I'm also a lesbian, so I think that's right on brand.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
So speaking of lesbians, speaking of Taylor, she always has the most followers, followed by Hannah with over 74,000. And then Brittany, which this one kind of makes me laugh, her and Leo, that they don't make it past the pods.
They don't. They went to Miami. Producers were like, nope, you're not going.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well,
it was probably the mwah.
Yeah, it was cringe, that whole whatever we want
that
to call
triangle.
It. And so, but it's interesting because both Brittany and Leo got some huge followers. So there you go.
And Ashley, I wanted to ask you about that because I thought that was fascinating too, that both Brittany and Leo are in the top ranking for Instagram followers. And again, we're going to go back and we're going to follow overall follower count. But even on the socials, me personally, I am being pushed more viral videos. And I'm talking not only Instagram, but also TikTok, specifically for Leo.
So you sent me one today. No, somebody else sent me one today. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm interesting, especially someone with your background. Why would this couple be cut? Why would they be getting so much attention now? Like, give us a little bit of insight into your experience, some of the decisions that were made. And if you were in the position to make a decision, would you, hindsight is always 2020. Would you have kept them as a recorded couple to then have broadcast?
Let me ask you a question though. Do you think our viewers know your background?
Well, hold on. Let me just say I come from the television industry. I don't have any insider information on anything that happened. So what I'm about to say is pure speculation. I don't think they lasted past Miami.
As a couple?
As a couple.
Okay.
So I think that they would have broken up. And the only reason why they were part of it is because of the love triangle with Hannah.
Okay. So the only reason they kept their storyline was because you think, and I appreciate the clarification. This is, based on your education and your previous work experience, you're just in the industry. You feel that Brittany and Leo were kept because of the drama that was created by the love triangle.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that, they would never have been broadcast at all.
Correct. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have plenty of people get on the show, but they're only going to follow the ones that get engaged into the select ones that are going to make it.
Okay.
And so Brittany and Leo were, let's be honest, they were never going to make it. Like the moi, like we knew from that moment, they were never going to make it.
So why do you think there was the yeses, the I do's? They didn't get married, but why were the proposals given and the proposal received then?
I think that they generally were all in love with each other. Like that the couples were in love with each other. I just think that a 10-day stint in pods where you don't...
In 10 days?
Yeah, they do it in 10 days where they do the pods.
Right.
And
so there was genuine love.
I do think so. With that said, and you hear this throughout characters throughout the episodes, they say, I was going to take this experiment to the end. So there is a part of it where people are like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And then this season, for some reason, a lot of people were like, psych, I'm not doing that. And so, I think that one, yes, I do think there was general interest between the couples. And two, I do think that people were interested to take it to the end to see what would happen.
Probably like, the next career move, right?
Could be. And people do come on the show for that,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
That's
Pure
what I was
entertainment.
gonna,
Any publicity is good publicity.
and I was
look
gonna
at
jump
Brittany
in.
and Leo, right? For that
That's
exact
exactly
reason.
Exactly.
That's the exact thing I was gonna jump in on. At what point do we speculate that they kept going? And I'll be honest, on previous seasons, we have seen couples stay in the relationship simply to stay on the show and
Mhm.
or keep the relationships with their same gender counterparts. So one example I'm thinking of right now, a female, she really just didn't want to not hang out with her girlfriends and have a good time there. So she maybe stayed on longer than she should have, because of that. So do we think Leo and Brittany were, and it sounds like, Ashley, you think that there were genuine feelings,
I do.
or do we think that it was a publicity stunt as well?
I think that there has to be some form of feelings, personally.
How do you not?
And the other thing too I want to say is, like, when it comes, and I don't know anything about how the show was cast, so I don't want to say that this is insider information, because it's not. The casting teams, when they cast this talent, these characters, it's very, very, very rigorous. And so they're able to feed out, like, and sort out who's serious and who's not. With that said, you also want good characters. So there's a balance there, but there's hundreds and hundreds of people that are applying to go on a show like this. Like, I think there's plenty of safeguards in place to really choose those people that are aiming to be serious.
Okay, and is that
had some winners?
Yeah. So do you think then the creators and the producers, they genuinely want couples to get together?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Think about it from a business standpoint. If you have a show that's just a whole bunch of people coming on for their own attention and nobody gets married, nobody's going to watch the show, because it's not about love.
I mean, Love Island.
Well, yeah,
that's an extreme, if you will, but you still want them to succeed.
Love. That's about cute, good, gorgeous people being together on an island, and it doesn't matter if they end up together or not.
You want them to. Like, I was more rooting for
sure,
some of those couples.
Well, sure, but
and yeah,
the success of the show isn't if people actually get together on that show or not. Ultimately, and it's similar with other, relationship shows, like Ultimatum. You can think about Married at First Sight. All of the other reality shows out there, there does need to be some form of authentic love to keep these series going.
Okay. Yeah, because then if there wasn't, nobody would keep watching.
Right. Because you think about past seasons, Alexis and Brennan, right? Like, they're still together. They just had a baby. They're huge on social media, right? People following them, that's what's going to get people to come back to the show every season to see if somebody else falls in love.
I mean,
okay.
I mean, I don't know the stats with this, but I feel like one of the most successful love shows there's out there is what? Bachelor, Bachelorette,
yeah.
And now Golden Bachelorette, and Golden Bachelor.
But even with Golden Bachelor, I haven't watched it, but I've heard from it. But, like, didn't they get divorced like 6 weeks after or something? And it's like, everybody was like upset about it, because it's like, no, we want to see the love part.
And there was love.
But was that that's the one where I would argue that there wasn't.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I mean, why else would you get divorced 6 weeks after?
Fair enough. Ashley, do you feel, and Erin, if you've got some insight in this too, do the producers and creators recognize, as part of the storytelling process, these like dopamine hits? Like,
yes.
So, like,
absolutely.
What would happen if everybody got together? We know what's going to happen if nobody got together. People would be like, oh, well, there's nothing here. Why are we going to keep watching? On the other hand, there still has to be these dopamine hits, but we can't have it all the time, right? So,
yeah.
So we can't have every relationship work either.
Yes. So you can still tailor the story in the edit, right? So you can still say, okay, let's say we have these 6 couples, but number 6 is super boring, so we're just going to highlight the 5 of them. So like, I don't know how many couples behind the scenes actually there are. No, and I actually believe that there are couples that make it past the pods. They just don't move forward with them because they go with these other couples that are more exciting, because you still have to create television.
I think that's kind of a shame. I wish that we could know of all of them, kind of how like they did with Brittany and Leo. I liked the fact that, yeah, sure, they went to Miami and called it off afterward or
I mean,
whatever.
we don't even know what happened when they went. Like, we don't even know.
We don't know what happened there.
From a Love is Blind on the TV screen, we don't know. Obviously, social media
is telling us a different story.
Yeah,
right, 100%. But
I'm just going off of what the show has said,
and I think I was going off of what I've been seeing on social media and what people have been bringing forward. But
no, and you tell me what's being said.
But also, sure, they're going to like a lot happens in the editing process, but producer wise, isn't there a lot going on prior to that? Little whispers and trying to, help nudge this dopamine along, if you will.
Yes, I would say yes. I guess I want to be cautious that like these are still people with feelings and the ability to make decisions themselves.
Sure.
So yes, you have producers. And I don't know. I don't know what's being said, but my understanding and my experience when it comes to reality/unscripted is they're still. So basically, I actually listened to a really good podcast this morning that was talking a little bit about this, where the producers will kind of take what the environment is and then provide activities or content around those those lives. So for example, if you think of a show like, I don't know, whatever show, and you have a whole bunch of the women travel to England or whatever, you're still going to bring up their lives. The producers are just creating the environment for them to interact together.
Like Real Housewives?
That's what it was, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay.
So like Real Housewives, right? And so, listen, I don't watch Real Housewives, but I listen to podcasts and talk about it all the time. And so you're still going to have that in something like Love is Blind. I guarantee a lot of the activities in the pods where they find the girl walks in and there's flowers in the pod.
I know, there was a lot.
Or there's a poem. Like, I'm sure there's some like conversations with the producers to be like, oh, I want to do something, or do you want to do something? And they can decide together between the producer and the talent what to do. So yes, they still have to tell a story, and the producers are still going to help facilitate that storytelling. My point is, at the end of the day, the talent has to decide, am I moving forward or not? Like, it's up to them.
Side note, do you ever wonder, do you know why they use those gold cups everywhere you go? Everywhere they go in Love is Blind. Have you noticed?
I would just assume it's for branding, but
there's no branding on it. Have you noticed that, Brittany, too?
No.
Oh yeah. We make all the comments. It's the same. It's Love is Blind, and what's the other show? Is it Married at First Sight also? Or Ultimatum that has
they have the silver ones.
Yeah,
do you know why?
Why? Because it has alcohol in it?
No. So that, well, okay, so again, social media, and I saw a post basically. The reason why they use these cups is so that they can drink whatever they want to drink, and there's no speculation, but there's no judgment either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So like when there was a few things where like they're at a restaurant or something like that, and the tables all had the clear glasses, but then they had the goblets, if you will.
Well, I also think that's a branding thing though from the show, because if you see a gold goblet at a restaurant, you're automatically going to think Love is Blind.
That's true.
I mean, it's part of their logo. At least it was in the beginning seasons.
That's
so true. I think it's that too.
Fair enough. But the question is, I like the drink.
Yeah.
There's no speculation. Totally. It is what it is.
I do like that.
But even the question is, the question is then, was the gold goblet intentional branding, or did it just happen? So like Erin is saying, they had to do it away, so there was no judgment liquid in there. Also, there's no reflection on
that's another piece.
The cup itself, so we're not getting a lot of the lighting or reflections or whatever. So from a logistical perspective, was that what it was? Was it a branding, like chicken or the egg? It could be both, but which do you think came first? Me personally, and again, I have no idea. I've never asked. I've never looked into it. I think it was very intentional to have those gold goblets. Absolutely. From like a branding perspective?
Oh yeah, from the beginning.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Because I tend to think it was more.
It wouldn't be.
Oh, interesting. I thought maybe it could have been. It is absolutely a branding, image now, but I don't know if it was intentional from the beginning. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it was. I'd be curious to know if anybody has that information. But yeah, no, I've always assumed it was always intentional for branding.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
So when is the finales?
As of this recording, it's next week. So the night before Halloween, the 30th. Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say my prediction now. I think that that Garrett and Taylor are still together.
Yes.
Who's the other couple?
Is it Ashley?
Was it Ashley? Yeah.
Ian? Is it Ian?
No. I wouldn't be surprised if they've broken up because there's lots of rumors about
he's a liar.
His actual relationship with his offspring, that he is more present in their life. So that one I could see having them
You
broken
said
up.
it so kindly.
But I think at least I hope that Taylor and Garrett are still together. Because after all, his parents were married on the 13th, her parents were married on the 13th, and they were married on the 13th.
Who?
Taylor and Garrett.
Oh, okay.
Their parents.
Wow.
I know.
Is that inside information?
No, I saw it on social media.
Social media. It's really powerful.
All right, let's head to our last section. We've had some fun gossip and some fun speculation, but this next section is a little bit more somber.
Yeah, and this is Liam Payne. Obviously, he tragically died on the 16th of October. I'm just kind of taking a look at his numbers here. He was actually losing quite a bit of, not quite a bit, but like a couple thousand a day before the tragedy. And there's not necessarily a reason why. This is very common, especially when you have millions and millions of followers. So like, it's not a bad thing that he loses followers. Sometimes it's bots that come in and they get, purged from the system or whatever. So I don't want this to look negative towards him at all. But what we did see is the day and the day after and the following days, he did gain quite a bit of followers. And this is just, we're going to assume that it was just out of, to share his memory and to honor him. Yeah, pay their respects.
Yeah,
after
a beautiful tribute to his life and his memory. I thought it was beautiful to see the jump in the numbers too. Just deeply respectful followers. I thought was really kind.
And just to show some of his top posts, which this first one I thought was just so beautiful. It was over 3 million engagements and likes. It's with I can't remember his name, but the gentleman that did the documentary about like the McDonald's. I should have had his name. But when he passed away, Liam Payne did a tribute to him.
Oh, that's lovely.
And that garnered, over 3 million engagements. And then he did a posting of a song that got over 700,000 engagement points, likes. And then the third one was just him and his dog that got close to 700,000. So these are the 3 highest posts that he's ever had. And
what was especially special about this is there some of his more recent posts.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. Just to kind of see his growth and his journey. That he tragically passed away, but he had a strong following and he had a loyal fan base, and I thought that was beautiful. That's shown by these posts, which were some of the more recent posts that he had.
Yeah, that's right. They were all, I think, from this year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So as we're finishing up, we're really excited to get trend trackers going again. We've kind of refocused and figured out what it is we want to share. We love this concept of data-driven analysis for, Instagram followers. That's going to be our main platform that we're going to follow, but we'll also dip into the TikToks and the YouTubes and even the Facebooks, the Threads and the Twitters, etc. And then there are others. But we're mostly going to focus on Instagram. And this is just a journey that we're excited to do. And so in closing, we want our followers to like and subscribe, share this to anybody that you think would enjoy it. And more importantly, write to us in the comments, because we want to know who you want to know about. If there's somebody that you're seeing trend, because obviously where I am is different from where Ashley is, what's different from Erin. Our algorithms are all different. And so we want to know who you're seeing, who you want to see. So leave some comments in this video or in other subsequent videos. Let us know who you want to see, what you want to see. We're not just following people, we can follow brands, anything that has an account on the social media. We're excited to dive in and look and see what the data is showing. All right, so with that, Ashley, Erin, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
This has been really fun and exciting. And we will
You're
catch
welcome.
everybody. Thanks, Erin. On our next episode. Take care.
Bye.